The gender scholar Bell Hooks famously described the United States as an imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy. Now, that description has become popular in certain academic circles. For example, it's a core principle in many gender studies programs, where the United States is assumed to be a matrix of oppression. Well, is that accurate? Let's look at the evidence. That's coming up next on The Factual Feminist. Let's start with imperialist. America is certainly an economic, military, and cultural superpower. Yet it wields this power, in the words of the historian Neil Ferguson, to spread free markets, to entrench the rule of law, to impose order, and to pave the way for representative government. Now, this is in sharp contrast to empires from Persia to Rome to Napoleonic France or the Soviet Union, who invaded and conquered and plundered in order to enrich the motherland. Now, even in the United States, even when we invade countries like Japan, Germany, Iraq, we have done so for a specific purpose, usually defensive. And we don't plunder or colonize them. When hostilities cease, the United States attempts, with varying degrees of success, to create independent democracies, usually at great expense to us. Now, our record is not spotless, but a menacing imperialist power, we are not. Well, what about white supremacist? The United States has a shameful history of racism, there's no question about that, but we also have a long and honorable history of fighting it, from abolishing slavery to trying to overcome its legacy. A recent study of racial tolerance by 2 Swedish economists found that the U.S. is among the world's most tolerant societies. India and Jordan were among the least tolerant. Now, intersectional feminists claim that even if most Americans are tolerant, the white population still maintains supremacy through a rigid set of political, economic, and cultural structures. Well, if that's so, it doesn't seem to be all that successful. I mean, Latino girls are now more likely to go to college than white boys. And the most successful demographic group in the U.S. in terms of income, education, and life expectancy isn't whites, it's Asians. Look, racism is a problem, a serious problem, but anyone who calls the United States a white supremacist society is distorting reality. Well, what about capitalist? Guilty as charged. The United States is a capitalist country, and thank goodness for that, because another term for capitalism is economic liberty. And economic liberty is essential to human well-being. Without it, societies are miserable, poor, and oppressive. Just look at Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea. Compare life in Eastern Europe before and after free enterprise. Economic freedom, like all freedoms, can be abused. And in the U.S., we are constantly looking for ways to prevent that. But we don't always succeed. The free enterprise system has alleviated more human poverty and misery and broken down more systems of oppression than any other force in history. Finally, patriarchy. Well, the patriarchy is a system in which men hold the power and women do not. But women do hold power in the United States. They lead major universities, giant corporations, and the nation's most powerful central bank. A woman almost won the presidency. Now, of course, that she almost won, or more precisely, that she lost the Electoral College despite winning the popular vote, is for some proof that the patriarchy is in full force. A headline in Slate declared, quote, "The Electoral College is an instrument of white supremacy and sexism." In fact, the Electoral College is an important instrument in our federal representative democracy. But if it turns out to be a tool of the patriarchy, women are free to organize a movement to amend the Constitution and just get rid of it. And after all, more women than men vote. But of course, most women don't feel particularly oppressed by the Electoral College, or by much else for that matter. American women, especially college women, are among the freest and most self-determining human beings on the planet. Are things perfect for women? No, but they're not perfect for men either. To refer to the United States as a patriarchy is absurd. The U.S. has many flaws, and few will dispute that, but it is also one of the most successful, diverse, tolerant, and open societies the world has ever seen. Professor Hooks and the other intersectional theorists view the United States as a matrix of oppression. In fact, it's a matrix of freedom, opportunity, and happiness. It's not perfect, but it's very, very good. Well, what do you think of the America is an imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy claim? Do you find it as unreasonable as I do? Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments section. And if you find this video valuable, please subscribe to the series and like me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. Let me know what you think of our new set. Thank you for watching The Factual Feminist.